Good morning, and thank you for joining us on After GMS. It is a great Wednesday morning, November 9th. I'm Tracy McCain here with Megan Malaris, Christian Morgan,
Hello.
and Matthews. We're all here.
We are. It is the day post-elections. We have a full recap of some of the key races coming up. You can also find them online, WFMYnews2.com. But our other big story that we did not vote for was cold weather.
I definitely did not vote for that.
Me either.
Have you met Nicole?
I have.
Triad,
And
Nicole, Triad.
she's a force to be reckoned with.
She's a rainy and windy one. I'll tell you that. Not to be our friend. Okay, on a serious note, Nicole is going to bring rain and wind to the Piedmont, and that's something we'll track for you as early as tomorrow evening. Right now, as you look out across the Piedmont, it's cool and it's a bit breezy to start this morning. High pressure in control of our weather to the north. Meanwhile, Tropical Storm Nicole getting its act together out in the Atlantic to our south, and we're kind of wedged in between the two. Those big pressure differences create the breeze that we had yesterday and that we have today, and we'll keep through the next few days. Of course, Nicole will move across Florida and eventually track our way, and really this is going to be a rain event for the Piedmont. We'll also have a little bit of wind, and we'll also have a low storm risk that we'll need to keep an eye on tomorrow night through Friday as well. So, Nicole, where is she right now? 70-mile-per-hour sustained winds, about 60 miles east-northeast of the Great Abaco Island, moving west-southwest at about 13 miles per hour. And it doesn't look like a very healthy or organized storm yet, but it will start to become more organized as we go throughout the day. Tropical storm warnings, hurricane warnings also in effect for Florida. Here's the latest track from the National Hurricane Center as of about 45 minutes ago. It likely comes ashore in Florida on the East Coast tonight, somewhere I think between West Palm Beach, maybe up to Jupiter, maybe Fort Pierce, Florida, but somewhere in that vicinity. It will come ashore late tonight through early tomorrow morning. At that point, it will move across Florida and then start that turn, and as it weakens, it will head toward the Piedmont Triad, likely as a depression or remnant low by the time it reaches us. Now, one difference in the track than we've seen over the last 24 hours is a bit of a subtle shift to our west, which means we'll have a little more of a storm risk to monitor than I originally thought earlier in the week. So as it tracks across Florida, notice you see those rain bands moving in as early as tomorrow evening. They'll start light, and then I really do think our wettest and windiest period of this event is going to be Friday morning through Friday afternoon. And notice it's not going to rain all the time everywhere, but you'll have these tropical downpours. And what I mean by that is that it'll rain really heavy for a short amount of time and then stop, and then do it all over again throughout the day on Friday. And of course, with dew points in the 60s, some muggy air may be able to tap into some of those tropical bands of rain and may be able to rotate. So that's where we would have a low thunderstorm and a low tornado risk for your Friday. Of course, we'll be on top of that for you. Rain total is generally going to be in the 1 to 2 inch range. Of course, that's just estimated right now, subject to change. And I do think some higher rain totals will be possible to our west in the foothill and mountain communities, just based on the current track of Nicole. Gusty winds on the order of 25 to 35 mile per hour gusts, but that's nothing out of the ordinary. So as far as power problems go, I don't foresee that being a big issue, although a couple isolated power problems can't be totally ruled out. So rain will start tomorrow evening. It will end on Friday night. We'll be clearing out throughout the day on Saturday. Saturday is breezy and cool with temperatures in the 60s. But take a look at what happens by the time we get into Sunday. We're just going to get downright chilly. Upper 40s on Sunday afternoon, could drop down all the way into the 20s by Monday morning, with temperatures holding in the upper 40s and low 50s through the start of next week.
Well, that is quite chilly. We can imagine you might have grabbed your coat this morning if you've left the house.
I did.
I did.
I did.
If you have not left the house
Fine.
yet, you will need to find it.
So there's a difference though in coats, right? I grabbed a straight up winter jacket. Christian,
Fur and everything, right?
yeah, no, it didn't have the fur on it, but it had a thick,
Okay.
collar. But it was close. It kind of looks like that. Christian, I looked over at you and you had like a windbreaker on.
Right.
That's not like a jacket to me. That's like,
You know, just something to keep my little skinny arms cold.
Keep the chill off your bones.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I mean, I think there's just a difference in coats. But anyway, it was really cold this morning while as my son was driving or riding to school with my husband. He was dropping him off, and my son says, you know, he has shorts. I mean, he wanted to wear shorts today. And I was just like, I can't believe he wanted to wear shorts. He's like, yeah. He's like, I put extra lotion on, so I was warm.
Oh.
Really, kid?
I mean, that's a smart thought.
This is the honor roll student, by the way. He's just like, yeah, if I put extra lotion on, I'm good. No, sir. You need pants today.
I mean, I guess, you know, in a way, it's a little bit of a coating. I mean,
Yeah, there's just something about little boys. Little boys in pants, they don't like each other. Like I don't.
Yeah.
I'm figuring that out as well.
Although Angela Hare, who's one of our directors here, said that her husband wears shorts year round and will, you know, and he's an adult.
Yeah,
So-
but he's also a contractor, so he's like, you know, working
Yeah.
See, for
hard
me-
all day as far as physical
Sweating.
stuff.
For me, as long as my arms are warm, I'm good. Like this time of the year, I wear shorts and long sleeves more times than I can count.
That's what Angela said her husband does.
Yeah, I'm a shorts and long sleeve kind of guy.
Shorts and long sleeves.
So really,
My
what
legs
part of
stay
you?
warm. My
Okay,
my
so
arms
you're
get
like
cold.
Josiah. You just put some extra lotion on,
Yeah.
and your legs stay warm.
Yeah,
Hilarious.
I mean, if I had to pick, I'd rather my arms be warm.
Yeah, me too. Quite honestly. How about you, Ed?
Yeah, light jacket this morning, but while I was doing weather segments during the Good Morning Show in the Weather Garden, I kind of thought, you know, I maybe should have got a little thicker jacket, but not a coat or anything like that. But yeah, there was definitely chilly this morning.
Yeah, and you're out there. I know people probably email and say, bring them back inside.
Well, you know,
it's so
the funny
cold."
thing is when I'm in a hurry, you know, Christian and I work on graphics in between our weather segments. We got to keep everything updated. And I might be doing something that's like, I got to get to the garden real quick. I'm getting ready to do my segment. And sometimes I forget my jacket. So I think probably more often than not, you know, it's like, what is he doing out there? And it's cold. He doesn't even have a jacket on. But I'm only there for a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
And I'll say for us too, the hardest part for me, I don't know about you, I hate having to change this mic in and out. So in order to put on a coat to go outside, you know, a regular
Yeah.
jacket's not going to
That's
go on
true.
over my
Ah,
suit.
so you have to take
And
your
we
suit
move
jacket
around
off.
so much, you know, we may be in the garden for a weather hit, or we may be back in here or in the next studio or somewhere. So just all the constant, take it off, put it back on, changing my mic.
Right.
I'd rather just be cold for 2 minutes.
Yeah,
Right,
the
or just
wardrobe
layer
change
underneath
can
there,
be
yeah.
a real pain. And there have been many times that we would be back at the desk here and I'd look and it's like, ooh, I got my jacket on.
Yeah.
I think people understand.
This is totally
In
a
and
first
out.
world problem, by the way.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. Yes, we appreciate the fact, yes, we are able to wear jackets and coats.
Absolutely, for sure. Not taking that for granted, but there are times where I've walked up to the table here from where I sit, which is a little off the ways, and I also have my sweater on because it's so cold in here. And then the director will be like, do you know you still have your sweater on? I'm like, no, I did not.
Yeah, I took a picture the other day, posted it, not even realizing I had a sweater on. Someone's like, are you cold? I said, always. So, makes sense.
Exactly.
Yes.
So let us know here if you are wearing a coat today. I know you'll probably be wearing one by Sunday when temperatures
Oh,
literally
yeah.
fall off the scale. I mean, not literally, but I mean, it's just going to be really cold.
Yeah.
I mean, even today's kind of a shock to the system. I mean, think
Yeah.
about it. November has started so warm. Every day up until yesterday was above 70 degrees. And we had that 80-degree day on Monday, and now you drop down into the low 60s, and that's a bit of a change, but it's actually where we should be for this time of the year. That's pretty much normal for us at this point.
Yeah.
The comments are really funny here. Carol said, I have shorts on this morning. And LeVar said, he came out of the house with a t-shirt and shorts on. I cannot even believe it. Joanne said the heat is on at her house. Mine will be too. You wore the wrong jacket today, Megan?
I did. I wore a light sweater and the first jacket I grabbed, which was too.
Not enough?
It was a windbreaker. It was
Too
a
thin.
Christian jacket. Yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't work. Nope.
Let's see. Tamrika says she can't get her little one to wear shorts. She said he wears shorts pretty much all year. Yeah. Yeah, it's a struggle. It is a struggle. Dana says there was a study done on men wearing shorts and long sleeve shirts, hoodies. She said it is a thing,
LOL.
Telling you.
apparently. Well, it's not a thing unless Ed Matthews does it.
Well, there you go. My
Trendsetter.
thing, I have not turned on the heat yet.
Oh, then
I've
it's
had
not a
it,
thing.
you know,
Oh,
I've
you
had it
haven't?
serviced. Yeah, I haven't turned it on. I haven't needed it. I've got windows on the south side of my condo, and if I get a sunny day, it warms into the low 70s without any heat at all. And that's even if it's cold outside.
Yeah.
Now, you let it be cold and cloudy,
Okay.
my heat comes on big time.
Okay.
But I got a feeling Sunday, I'm going to fire it up.
It's gonna smell like
And
everything
hopefully it
burning in
works.
there.
Yeah. Yes. All right. This was a fun first conversation. It will not be the last. We are heading into that colder time of year. Let's get to it with today's top headlines. One of the biggest races on the ballots yesterday for the 2022 midterms was the U.S. Senate seat in North Carolina. Ted Budd defeated his challenger, Sherry Beasley, with 51% of the vote. Congressman Budd is a Davie County native. He has been a U.S. congressman the last 6 years, representing parts of the Triad.
Well, thank you.
Well, there are 14 U.S. House races in North Carolina. District 6 covers Greensboro, High Point, Winston-Salem, as well as some areas in Rockingham and Caswell counties. Democrat Kathy Manning defeated her challenger with 54% of the vote, beating out Republican Kristen Castelli, who had 45%. This is Representative Manning's second term in the U.S. House.
Well, we will see familiar faces continue their roles as sheriff. Guilford County voters re-elected Sheriff Danny Rogers to his second term. Forsyth County Sheriff Bobby Kimbrough won re-election with 66% of the vote there. And Terry Johnson will stay sheriff in Alamance County. Greg Siebel won in Randolph County and Sam Page in Rockingham County.
Well, one of the biggest developments out of this midterm election and the results is the power of balance, or balance of power in our state legislature.
Yeah, so Republicans kept the majority in both chambers, but increased it a little bit in one. They picked up 2 extra seats in the state Senate. That means in that chamber they have a super majority, but they came up 1 seat shy of a super majority, or 3/5 if you prefer it that way, in the state House. Republicans have a simple majority in that chamber. So this means that they will need at least some Democrat support to possibly override any potential vetoes from Governor Roy Cooper.
So Governor Cooper says that he's going to take this tiny victory in the House, and he said on Twitter, quote, "We stopped a GOP supermajority tonight when North Carolinians voted for balance and progress," end quote. So obviously he is happy that he still has some of his veto powers in place.
All righty, let's check the 7-day forecast. Going to be a pretty nice day. Sun and clouds, breezy, cool. We're up around 60, 61, mid 60s tomorrow. But on Thursday, the clouds start to build out ahead of tropical moisture surging in from the south. And we'll see some tropical showers develop by Thursday evening. They'll be off and on right on through Friday and Friday night. We think the time frame for maybe some real tropical downpours would be during the day on Friday. Right now we're looking at maybe 1 to 2 inches of rain and maybe 25 to as high as 35-mile-per-hour wind gust. But the remnants of Nicole move on out. The weekend looks dry and then much colder by Sunday. Yeah, it'll be the day that Ed turns on his heat for the first time, because we're going to be in the upper 40s, not only Sunday, but Monday and Tuesday as well. And you can see by Monday and Tuesday morning, likely seeing some temperatures dip down into the upper 20s. Wow. When it gets into the 20s, it's time to turn the heat on. My opinion.
Even I.
20s.
Like my heat's on in the 60s, right?
Yeah.
So it's not the, the daytime highs that are most concerning.
Yeah.
It's those overnight lows, like you were talking about, 28 and 29 degrees.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
be
below
chilly coming in.
freezing, yeah.
And really, I don't mind colder weather. Now, when it gets cold, single digits, that's too much for me. But I can't stand wind chill.
Right, and the wind from this hurricane, we're between those pressure systems, right?
Yeah.
So that's what's really going to make it feel colder.
I'm
listening.
Did you hear it?
I heard it.
Yeah.
She listens.
She listens.
I try.
What'd you say? Yeah.
Both of them do, yeah.
You weren't here the day I had made Tracy do weather, were you?
She did a good job.
That would have
Did a
been
good
cool.
job.
I almost had to do it the other day because Ed's graphics weren't working. And Courtney was like, just be prepared. I'm like, listen, I got this. I was like, luckily I've had practice. Okay, thanks so much for joining us on After GMS. We got to get ready for our show on the main channel, WFMY, the Good Morning Show at 9 a.m. We hope to see you there.
All righty.
Take care.